Hi, my name's Ryan O. Today I'd like to show you how I put snake skins on an Osage self bow. I just finished this up. Just got done finished sanding it. Um, I'd like to put some nice diamondback rattlesnake skins on it now. So the first thing that I like to do is clean the bow off real good with some kind of degreaser, lacquer thinner. You can use acetone or alcohol, will work just as well. First, what you want to do is get yourself a paper towel. Put a little bit of your degreaser on the paper towel. Just wipe down the limbs. Now you can use this method on a already finished bow too. I recommend taking a little sandpaper and scuffing the finish first. If you're working with a fiberglass bow, you could also use the same method, but you just want to use a little bit of steel wool to rough up the finish first, give the glue something to stick to. Osage is a pretty naturally oily wood, so you want to get all that off the surface. So you can see it turns the paper towel yellow. It's all the oil coming out of the wood. There we go. Next I like to put a little bit of dark brown or black dye on the back of the bow underneath the surface that the snake skins are going to be glued to. Basically it just darkens up the pattern on the snake skins a little bit and makes the pattern stick out a little bit nicer. Got a bottle of alcohol based stain here. Another paper towel. Rubber gloves are a good idea too when you're working with any of these alcohol based stains, because it tends to dye your skin. Now remember, we don't want to get dye on the rest of the bow, so you want to be kind of careful. Just use a liberal amount and just put it on the back of the bow underneath where the snake skin is going to be glued. You can go back over this a couple of times if you want to get a darker color, but I think this is going to be good enough. Okay. We're going to let that dry for a few seconds and we'll get ready to glue our snake skins on. Okay, while that dye is drying on the back of the bow, I'm going to get my snake skins ready and prepared to glue onto the bow. Basically, I like to use dried snake skins over a tanned snake skin. These have basically just been taken off the snake and stapled down to a board and salted and dried. It's going to be pretty neat looking. Now the first thing you want to do is take one of your snake skins, get yourself a bowl of warm water. I like to just kind of curl it up so it fits in the bowl. Stick it in the bowl of water. Soak them in the bowl of water for a few minutes here. Okay, we'll let that soak for a second. The next step is going to be to apply a little bit of glue to the back of your bow. I prefer to use waterproof glue. I like the Type Bond 3. Tacks up pretty quick. It's waterproof. Never had any problems with it. I'm going to start out with the bottom limb this time. Doesn't really matter which way you start, but I thought it might be more interesting to show you this has got a little bit of character in the bottom limb. I'll go into a little bit more detail about how to lay the pattern out. when you got some character to work with. Don't be stingy with your glue. You're going to get it on parts of the bow that you're not going to want it, but it comes off. A little sandpaper, a little scraper. Make sure you get your glue worked down to the edges of the limb, as far over as you want the snake skins to stick. That should do it. This can get a bit messy, so it's good to have paper towels sitting ready too. Next, you want to pull out your snake skin. So you can see it's really pliable now. I want to kind of squeeze the excess water off of it. We don't need all that water. I like to set it upside down here, scale side down on the table, even pat it dry a little bit with a paper towel. There we go. That's good enough. Now, you want to put this on. I like to put it on with the scales facing towards the tips. So that means the end of the snake that would have been the head will be towards the grip and handle area, and the end of the snake that would have been the tail will be facing towards the tip of the bow. That way when you're stringing your bow, you're not going against the scales with the string. Just kind of want to look at your pattern on your skin and get an idea. I kind of like it better up towards the head area, and this is a longer snake skin than what I need, so I'm going to start at about the middle of the grip. I'm going to start laying it on. You want to be sure to keep your pattern of your snake skin centered on the limb of the bow, which, like I said earlier, can be sort of tricky when you're working with a character bow type like this. Not too bad though. This is why, one of the reasons why you want to get those snake skins wet and rehydrated. Make that pattern follow right down the limb like it's the still alive squiggling snake. If you have some character like this to deal with, sometimes you need to take a razor blade and put a little slice here and there on the side just to get it to lay in a little nicer, lay down flat as it glues your eyes. Gets it to bend around them curves a little better. Trim off the excess skin at the tip. There, you can kind of see what that's going to look like when it dries. Well, that's basically the gist of it, of gluing down a snakeskin. I think this is going to turn out pretty good.